91.6%. That's how much Prime's profits collapsed in just 12 months. From £3.72 million to 312,000. Bottles that sold for £1,200 on eBay are now going for 14 pence in clearance bins. They're buried under $67 million in lawsuits from their own manufacturing partner. Sales dropped 70% in the UK alone. Stores that couldn't keep Prime on shelves 2 years ago now literally can't give them away. And honestly, are we even shocked? The drink that once had kids fighting in supermarket aisles is now sitting next to expired candy in discount stores. So how did Logan Paul and KSI go from selling 1 billion bottles to conducting a strategic review in under 3 years? January 4th, 2022. Logan Paul and KSI drop a cryptic poster on social media. The final chapter, it says. 540,000 people tune into their Instagram live expecting a boxing rematch announcement. Instead, they reveal Prime Hydration. 4 hours later, the entire first batch sold out. Not days. Hours. But here's where it gets wild. Within weeks, UK supermarkets started putting anti-theft tags on bottles, the same security measures they use for electronics and alcohol. Tesco imposed purchase limits. The resale market went absolutely insane. Regular bottles retailed at £2.50. eBay listings hit £400 for a 12-pack. One tropical punch bottle allegedly listed for £10,000. That's not a typo. £10,000 for a sports drink. Schools in London reported kids filling empty Prime bottles with tap water just to look cool. The Financial Times wrote about it. Think about that for a second. Children risking social suicide by admitting they couldn't afford a £2.50 drink. By November 2023, Prime hit $1.2 billion in global sales, up from $250 million the year before. That's 380% growth. They celebrated selling their billionth bottle with a gold bottle giveaway worth up to $1 million. Prime briefly overtook Gatorade at Walmart, captured 41.2% of the UK sports drink market. At peak, they were selling 31 bottles every single second. Fast forward to July 9, 2023. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer holds a press conference in New York City. He's standing there with a can of Prime Energy, calls it a cauldron of caffeine that puts Red Bull to shame. The numbers he drops are brutal. 200 milligrams of caffeine per 12-ounce can. Red Bull has 80 in an 8.4-ounce can. Monster has 160 in 16 ounces. Schumer demands the FDA investigate. Within 3 days, Health Canada issues a recall. Prime exceeds their 180 milligram limit. The Netherlands blocks sales entirely on August 8. New Zealand makes the original formula illegal with fines up to 100,000 New Zealand dollars. Schools across Australia, the UK, and United States start implementing bans. Parents freak out. News outlets run stories about kids drinking the equivalent of 6 Coke cans worth of caffeine. And that's when the lawsuits start piling up. August 2nd, 2023. Elizabeth Castillo files a $5 million class action in California. Claims the grape flavor contains PFAS forever chemicals at 3 times the FDA limit for drinking water. Logan Paul denies it on TikTok. The lawsuit is still ongoing. July 19, 2024. The U.S. Olympic Committee sues Prime over unauthorized use of Olympian Team USA and going for gold on Kevin Durant special edition bottles. They want millions in damages. Case settles quietly in January 2025, but here's the nuclear bomb. August 2024. Refresco Beverages, one of the world's largest drink manufacturers, files a $67.7 million lawsuit. They claim Prime backed out of a 3-year contract requiring purchase of 55.5 million cases. Refresco had invested in dedicated production equipment, built entire lines specifically for Prime. And here's the part that should terrify any brand. The lawsuit explicitly states fading social media buzz as the reason Prime's volumes collapsed. That phrase is now in court documents. A manufacturing partner publicly saying your hype died. Meanwhile, the sales numbers tell a horror story. UK annual revenue drops from £112.2 million to £32.8 million. That's a 70% decline. Profits fall 91.6%. Market share craters from 41.2% in August 2023 to 10.4% by March 2024. In the US, sales dropped 40% in the first half of 2024 alone. By July 2025, they're down 42% year over year. Projected revenue for 2025 is $300 million. They made $1.2 billion in 2023. Do the math. Retail stores start slashing prices. Tesco puts bottles on clearance for 31 pence. Heron Foods goes as low as 14 pence. Remember, these originally sold for £2.50. One industry source tells the grocer, you almost can't give them away. Another retailer is more blunt. It was a novelty item, so we've delisted it. March 20th, 2024. Internal documents reveal Prime told Refresco they would not move forward with production. That's the moment they privately acknowledged the collapse. The Twitter account at @prime_tracker, created during peak hype to help fans locate bottles, becomes completely obsolete. The same account that used to post sold-out alerts every hour goes silent. And while Prime implodes, their competitors throw a victory party. Gatorade still commands 70% of US market share, gains ground in every category during 2024. PepsiCo CEO Ramon Laguarta notes Prime's market share weakened significantly. Gatorade President Mike Del Pozzo delivers the kill shot in April 2024. Clearly we're winning. In the UK, while Prime loses £63 million in sales, Red Bull grows by £84.7 million. Monster adds £103.6 million. Industry analyst John Evans from System 1 sums it up perfectly. You can't cheat the fundamentals. Andrea Hernandez from Snackshot adds, a brand cannot live on hype alone. September 16, 2024. Prime attempts a pivot, launches Lunchly with Mr. Beast, a Lunchables competitor. Immediate criticism follows. Consumer Reports later finds concerning levels of lead in phthalates. Photos of moldy cheese circulate online. The product becomes a meme within weeks. June 24, 2025. UK Companies House filing reveals the full extent of the disaster. 91.6% profit collapse confirmed in official documents. The filing states Prime is entering a strategic review process to transition from an initial hypergrowth phase to a more sustainable long-term presence. That's corporate speak for we're in crisis mode. October through November 2024. Lionel Messi launches Moss Plus, a competing hydration drink. Prime immediately sues for copying their bottle design, colors, and tagline. Then in October 2025, Prime escalates. They sue Messi personally for falsely portraying himself as a founder. A legal battle with one of the world's most beloved athletes while your sales are cratering. Bold strategy. The partnership portfolio starts looking shaky. Prime still sponsors UFC, WWE, Arsenal, FC Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and the LA Lakers. But industry expert Sam Karp warns sports partners may be sweating about whether Prime is going to be able to honor their payments. Athletes like Patrick Mahomes, Kevin Durant, Aaron Judge, and Erling Haaland are still technically brand ambassadors, but when was the last time you saw them posting about Prime? The company discontinues Prime energy cans and hydration sticks in some markets. January 2025, they launch an ice series, lighter, cooler flavors they claim, a desperate attempt to recapture relevance. Ownership remains unchanged. Congo Brands holds 60%, Logan Paul owns 20%, KSI owns 20%. That once hyped $3.2 billion valuation should be marked way down according to multiple analysts. Think about the full arc here. January 2022, Logan and KSI announced Prime with 540,000 watching live. July 2022, they partner with Arsenal. January 31st, 2023, they replace Body Armor at UFC. February 12th, they air the first creator-led Super Bowl commercial. July 1st, 2023, they replace Gatorade at FC Barcelona. August 10th, they sign Bayern Munich. November 8th, they announce $1.2 billion in sales. March 8th, 2024, they sign what WWE calls the largest sponsorship deal in history, and then the floor falls out. 30 months from Super Bowl commercial to strategic review. From replacing Gatorade to getting replaced by generic store brands. The irony is perfect. Prime marketed itself as revolutionary. Coconut water, BCAAs, electrolytes, vitamins, zero sugar, bold flavors, celebrity endorsements. But Gatorade has been doing this since 1965. Powerade since 1988. Body Armor built sustainable growth before selling to Coca-Cola for $5.6 billion. Prime thought influencer power could bypass decades of brand-building fundamentals. They were wrong. Viral momentum reversed as quickly as it built. The real question now is what happens next. Can they execute this strategic review and actually become sustainable? Or is this just the beginning of a slow death where sponsorships quietly end, partnerships expire, and Prime becomes a cautionary tale business school study? Because right now, they're the fastest growing sports drink in history that became the fastest falling food and drink brand in the UK. From 1,200-pound resale bottles to 14 pence clearance, from 31 bottles per second to retailers saying you can't give them away. Logan and KSI built a billion-dollar brand on hype. Turns out you actually can't cheat the fundamentals. And the market just taught them that lesson for 91.6% of their profits. What do you think happens to Prime in 2026? Do they recover, pivot successfully, and become a legitimate long-term brand? Or are we watching the beginning of the end? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more stories about influencer brands that went from millions to lawsuits, hit subscribe. because this clearly isn't the last time we'll see hype collapse into reality.